Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm gonna do a review over Postal 2, Share the Pain. I'll talk a little bit about the Week in Paradise mod too, since hell, I'm reviewing Postal 2. I will not talk about the Apocalypse Weekend. I'll do that in a separate video. But Postal 2 to me, I can see why people hate it, but at the same time, it's just a game, folks. Yeah, it's supposed to be offensive, but don't take it seriously. Um, where does the humor come from? It could be both from the dude, what he says, and his back and forth with his wife, and hell, some of the stuff Gary Coleman said to you when you get his autograph if you don't kill him. That's pretty funny. So anyways, what this game is about, you go 5 days, Monday through Friday, doing really menial tasks, like get milk, go to church, piss on dad. Yes, there is actually a task where you have to pee on your dad's grave. And wow, the after you pee on the dad's grave, you get kidnapped by rednecks, and you get pretty much dressed up like a gimp. I am smiling right now. I laughed really, really hard. I chuckled at that a lot when I saw it. And the fact that uh, the only weapon you get in the brewery when you get kidnapped is a shovel, so the way he looks pretty much like a gimp holding a shovel, and he's like, oh my god, I'm a damn gimp. So the dude, where he's not really relatable, you kind of understand, like, he's just trying to live his week out without all this trouble. But here's where the fun stuff happens in the game. Um, with every task that you have, well, almost 90% of the tasks that you have, something goes wrong. Like, we'll start off with each day. Monday, we've got to get milk. So, in order to get milk, we need money. So, we first pick up our paycheck at RWS, running with scissors. And Vince Desi, I'm sure he is a really nice guy, but he's purposefully being an asshole in the game. And he's as soon as you walk up to him, he's like, "Sorry to tell you this, dude, but you're fired." And then dude says, "But I just started yesterday." And then Vince laughs in your face and says, "Go pick up your paycheck. It's right there." And so when you pick up the paycheck, chaos happens. A bunch of video game haters end up coming in and trying to boycott RWS, and even one of the signs has a picture of an ass on it. One sign says, uh, censor RWS's shitty games. And I just thought that was really funny. It pokes fun at society. Like, even back in 1997 with the first one, it got a lot of hate, mostly from the Postal Service, I think, because of the title. And the creators were just saying, it means going postal, it doesn't mean we're talking about the Postal Service. So the Postal Service kept on saying, why don't you change the title? And as we already know, they never changed the title, which I can't see this being named any other title other than Postal. So anyways, after all that is done, we cash our paycheck. We go to the bank. Now, here's where the choices come into play. We can either A, wait in line, which, okay, I'm wasting time here. Could you be any slower? Come on, people, I need to cash my paycheck. Or you could do it the fun way and massacre everybody, shoot the bank teller, and then go steal the money. And I'm just like, wow, they really did a really cool thing here. Like, it doesn't affect the ending at all, but it's kind of nice that they have the choice to be not violent and everything. So, the choice to not be violent is there. So, you can't say that this is purposefully all a violent game, because it's not entirely a violent game. It all depends on how you play it. Like, I know a lot of people out there play the violent side, but there is a non-violent side to this game, and I wish more people would understand that. There are far worse games out there than Postal, I know that. Even though it's not a big deal now, but Wolfenstein, when it came out, it caused controversy for the fact that it showed Nazis, you killing Nazis. This caused controversy over the fact that you could pee on people. You could take a person's head off with a shovel. You can violate a cat with a shotgun, which I really find to be really funny. And it's done with really, really strong, cynical type of dark comedy. So, anyways, we move on to cashing the paycheck. And right after we cash our paycheck, if we've stayed in line, a bank heist ends up getting put into play. All these bank robbers end up coming in and saying, "Stand still and nobody gets hurt." Or it's the cops who say that. Anyways, if you do stand still, you will not get hurt. But if you decide to run, they try shooting at you and the rest of the people. So, it's just a really fun, realistic type of game. Like, it's not entirely realistic, but it's done in a way that, hey, this might be able to happen. Like, pretty much the whole game is about what could be the worst thing possible. Like, what could be the worst week for a person, just one person. It being the worst week in his entire life. And in comes this game. It shows you what could be the worst week for a person, be it you're a nice person or a mean person. And in my eyes, Postal Dude is a nice person. But he pretty much gets pushed to his limits, hence the title, Postal. The first one is ultra violence. You needed to be violent in that game. Second game, you don't have to be, but you can choose to be, and that's good. Postal 2 Apocalypse Weekend, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but you have to be violent in that game. Postal 3, it all depends on how you play it. If you're good, the only violence you get is the taser. But if you play the bad path, you're going to be violent through most of the entire game. So, anyways, these games don't focus a lot on violence other than Apocalypse Weekend and the first game. But it's there. But it is definitely well deserving of an M rating. Like, if you pick up Share the Pain by itself, it's M rated. Even though it doesn't say the rating anywhere on the case or the disc, it is M-rated. Apparently Postal 3 doesn't even have a rating. It's pretty much unrated. But Postal 2 kicks major ass, and now we get to Tuesday. Tuesday, our first task, I think for Tuesday, it's go to church, like go to confession, trying to think. I know that get Gary Coleman's autograph is one of them. And I forget what the third task is, but anyways, going to church. Here's where more choices come into play. You're going to church, minding your own business, la-di-la-di-la-di-da. But here's a weird thing. I think this is really weird of how you get to church. You get to it through a train yard, and you don't have to go through the train yard, but you gotta go in between all these, a train pileup, and that's how you get to church. And I'm like, wow. It's not cryptic, but it is kind of weird. But Running with Scissors does a great job with keeping the balance between violence and non-violence. Even though the world itself is violent, to you, you don't have to be violent to them. You can be a pacifist in this game. I've done it both ways with this game. I've done it the non-violent way, and I've done it the violent way. So yeah. Is there any difference? With the people, no. But with you, yes. But you'll still get the same dialogue. So anyways, you go to church, and then you go to the mall to get Gary Coleman's autograph. Oh yeah, for Tuesday you have to return a book. And the book happens to be called Catch Her in the Rye. And I'm just like, I've never read Catch Her in the Rye, but I know that they're making fun of Catch Her in the Rye, of course. But the cover is nothing. Like, it's just a gray cover that says Catch Her in the Rye. And I think it has a writer, the author, but I forget if it does or not. But that would be funny if it happened to be Anne Frank or something like that, because for some reason I'd find that to be pretty funny. I do have a dark sense of humor. So anyways, you return the book. Here comes more choices. There's this picket group inside the place that keeps on holding up these signs that say, "Save a tree, burn a book. Save a tree, burn a book." And I'm like, oh, where have I seen that before? Back when I was a kid, there was a little thing out there called Parents Against Comic Books, and I was just like, the comic books, people, like, why are you going to ban a comic book? Why are you going to ban anything entertaining? There's nothing wrong with comic books. Do comic books make people violent? Because I don't think I've ever seen any form of entertainment make a person violent. So, anyways, I can relate to that. Seeing as how they're trying to burn books and whatever, so I like that. So anyways, after you've returned the book by pressing the X button, you'll throw it into the book return, and then all of a sudden you get this cutscene of a guy being like, "Hey, where have you been? Oh, sorry, my car blew up. Let's burn some books." And then they go in, and you don't see what's happening, and then you just see a bunch of flames coming out of the windows. And then when it cuts back to you, the entire library is on fire. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can kill everybody in the library, including the book protesters, or you can get the hell out of there. Here's a strategy. If you don't want to kill anybody, just remember this path. When you go downstairs, go to the right. When you're going downstairs, when you're finally down and you want to go return the book, go up the right side of the stairs, like in front of you. And remember, when you go back down, you go to the right, and then you go to the left stairs in front of you. And you'll be able to get out of there without getting hurt. It took me a while to figure that out, but when you played the game 5 different times, and it still doesn't get boring. That's what I love about games. There's games out there that you can play so many damn times and not get bored. So anyways, after you've returned the book, you go to church. And here's where one of my favorite scenes out of the entire game comes into play. After you've made it through the long line to get to the confession, the priest says, first the dude says, "Well, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I'm not lying. I'm a big sinner. Big sinner here. I sinned a lot." And the priest is like, "Well, did you put an offering in the box?" And dude says, "Yeah." "Well, you are forgiven, my son." And I'm like, reminds me a little bit of South Park. I think South Park came out in '99. So Postal predates South Park and Grand Theft Auto. And I find that to be, like, they're the originators of the violent video game? I mean, like, of course there was Doom way before Postal and whatever, but, like, I mean, like, violence to human beings. Like, just random violence. Was Postal the originators of that? Man, Running with Scissors, you did a hell of a job. Vince Desiderio, I give much props to you, man. You are definitely one awesome creator. I love your games. I am so happy I picked this up. So anyways, back on topic. After we've done all that, we've met with the priest, it goes to a cutscene, and it's probably one of my favorite cutscenes out of the entire game. One of them, anyways. You end up going like, "Ah!" You end up hearing that, and then a terrorist who looks exactly like Osama bin Laden ends up going like, "We claim this holy land in the name of Allah. Prepare to die, infidels." And then he ends up pulling out a machine gun from his back. Clearly you do not see a machine gun, but when he pulls out his arm again, there's a machine gun in his hand. So there's some cartoony stuff in that too. Like, I was waiting for the Looney Tunes theme song to pop up. Like, like, this game is great. I don't care. I've read so many bad reviews for this game. Like, I checked the game rankings, they were just like giving it poor scores. Like, the gameplay was just terrible. The storyline wasn't there. Really? You're going into a Postal game for a story? You might as well be watching SpongeBob out of hopes he's going to curse. It's just not gonna happen. It would be pointless to go in this for, like, some groundbreaking story. And some people complain about the load times. I kind of agree with them there. Like, this isn't a perfect game. Like, if I would say there are any flaws with this game, it's the loading times. There's loading screens everywhere, but you don't have to go through the loading screens. If you just want to go out there and kill people, don't go to the loading screens, and they're there. Just look for the hourglass signs. If you want to go to a different area, you of course have to sit through the loading screen, but here's a little trick. Go into a big area and just massacre everybody, and when you feel bored and you want something new, just go to another loading screen. But yeah, granted, they take up to about 45 seconds, but it's just loading screens. 45 seconds isn't too bad. Like, the Slaughterhouse loading screens, those are longer than the Postal loading screens. So, anyways, we get to pretty much the terrorists taking over the church, which leads into Wednesday. But let's get to Gary Coleman. We go to the mall, and there's a shortcut to the mall, and I'm going to tell it to you right here for the people who don't know. Go back to the RWS offices. There will be a set of stairs. Go up the stairs, and there will be an entrance to the Paradise Mall. There, you'll be able to go downstairs when you get into the mall, and there will be Gary Coleman. Now, you'll have to wait in line. You don't have to, but if you want, like, to be goody-goody, wait in line, and you'll be able to get some pretty funny stuff out of Gary. Dude says, I used to love you on What's Happening, even though Gary Coleman played in the show Different Strokes. So anyways, Gary gives him the book in exchange for money because he's pretty greedy, in the game at least. So you give him the money, he gives you a signed book. And then he says to you, you better not be selling that on eBay or I'll come to your home and kick your ass. And I laughed at that. So I like that Gary Coleman provided his own voice and knew what he was getting into. It even says on the warning when you start up the game, it says, do not play this game if you're going into politics or something like that. So yeah, you know what you're getting into with a warning like that. And since we're talking about Postal 2, I might as well talk about the pee. You can pee on people, yes. When you pee in their mouths, get ready for orange puke. Like they aren't going... And you can pee up on the ceiling, and then you can pee in your own mouth, and you're just like... And when you look in the mirror, this I found to be really funny. Like, they do have some decency here. When you unzip your pants, it's a big censored circle, like it's a big black circle that says censored. They take that away in Postal 3. Instead of it being a big circle that says censored, it's like a little rectangle that says censored, like the C is the penis head, and then ents or is the penis itself, and then the balls are ed. And I'm like, that's not funny. The second one was funny, but that one's just funny. It's just, yeah. But the third one's still funny. I liked it. But they used dialogue from the second one. Corey, I forget his name, but his name's Corey something. He provides the voice of the new Postal dude in Postal 3. They take lines from the second one and rehash them. So, yeah. And then we get to Wednesday. Here's where things get complicated. Task number 1, piss on Dad. Go to the cemetery, which is behind the church. It's taken over by the Taliban still, and instead of it saying Our Lady Peace Church, it says Our Infidel, Our Lady Infidel is what it says. I think that's pretty funny. So, you go pee on Dad, and what happens is you get knocked out with a shovel by the rednecks, and you get pretty much put in a brewery where you get dressed up like a gimp. So you have another task, an extra task. Well, not really extra, because extra usually means it's optional, but this is not an optional task. You have to go get your regular clothes, which it costs $100. And the thing about getting kidnapped, they took all your money, and they took all your clothes. Now, I'm going to give you a cheat. I won't put it in the description, so I might put it in the description, but it's a pretty easy code to remember. Jews for Jesus. Put that in, and it will give you $5,000. So, I'll save you a lot of trouble right there. There, you'll get $5,000, and that will be a good amount for you to buy your clothes back. So, anyways, after you've gotten out of the brewery and you've gotten your normal clothes back, you'll be continuing on with your missions. After you pissed on Dad, you get a Christmas tree. You run into the rednecks again after you get your Christmas tree, and here comes another great line. The two rednecks who kidnapped you are Earl and Billy Joe Bob. And Earl is saying to Billy Joe Bob, like, "Hey, he's looking at my favorite Christmas tree, Earl." And Earl is like, well, what do you reckon we do with him, Billy Joe Bob? Let's open his Christmas package, Earl. Woo, I'm gonna make him squeal like a chicken. And I just laughed. So, they make fun of everything in this game. Like South Park, it's very satirical. Satirical, however you pronounce it. So, what happens is, you get the tree, and it's going to take you a while to get to the forest, so you've got to be patient. A lot of loading screens. And here's something that goes and makes a shout out to Psycho. There's a Bates Motel, and there's a little caption underneath the title of the name of the hotel. It says, murder-free showers. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Making a shout out to one of my all-time favorite movies. So, anyways, after you've gotten the tree, there's the task of I'm not going to go through all the tasks, but there's one more task, and I forget what it is. Then we go into Thursday. Here's where chaos starts to show up. Like, it starts getting out of control. You've got the army coming in. Oh yeah, with Wednesday you have the petition. It's either Wednesday or Tuesday. One of the two. You've got to get 8 signatures, but it gives you 1 free signature, so you pretty much have to do 7 more signatures. So, that one, I like how it goes. First, he starts off really nice and says, "Would you like to sign my petition?" And then, the second time he goes, "Come on, sign the stupid petition, I've got stuff to do." And then the third time is where he gets really evil. He's like, "Sign the petition or I'll go home and kill your dog." And then they end up running away. So, the first time, he's nice. Second time, he gets a little ticked off. Third time, he gets really evil. And you can even ask Champ to sign your petition, and he's just looking at you like, what the fuck, man? And Champ does exist. Champ was an actual dog, but sadly, he died. So, sorry, Vince. Sorry about the loss of Champ. He's up in doggy heaven. So, anyways, back to Thursday. You've got to go to Meat World to get the steaks. And come to find out, it's human meat. They throw human beings into the meat grinder, and that's how you get your steaks. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can kill the butchers who are throwing the human beings into the meat grinder, or you can just let them be and continue on your way while they're shooting at you. You gotta go to the parcel center to pick up a package, which is filled to the brim with explosives. So, you've got that, and you've got to pay a parking ticket, and it's funny what dude says, after the police officer says, "Now you be careful driving now," and dude ends up saying, "Well, why would I want to drive? The cars here are nothing but useless props anyways, just for me to blow up. And you pay the $300 for the ticket." So there. And I love what the name of the club that the Postal dude is a part of. He's part of the Psychotic Friends Network. Psychotic Friends Network, and the barbecue is the Psychotic Friends Network barbecue. And I'm just like, that never comes into play. I wish we would have gotten to meet the Psychotic Friends Network. That would have been kick-ass. So, anyways, after Thursday's all done, then we get to Friday. 3 simple tasks, but 1 extra. You get gonorrhea. When you pee, it hurts you. So you've got to go to a Vendicure booth in a clinic, pay the nurse, I think it's $100. Well, for some reason it automatically goes to your money, even though you don't have to pay her. You just unzip your pants and then show off your penis to her. And she's like, gonorrhea. So, that happens. Poor guy. With Thursday, you also have to get napalm. So, yeah. And you've got to also get a bad touch crotchy. Now, for some reason, it shows that there's Larry the Krabs, and, dude even says, damn, they're all sold out of the bad touch crotchy. And, what happens is, dude, he says, well, there are plenty of Larrys left, hinting that you could pick up a Larry. I've tried it. You can't. There's a pack of scissors, but no way to pick up a Larry. So you've got to go all the way in the back, and there's no other way to do this. You've got to steal a crotchy doll. And when you come back, the police are swarming the place, looking for you. And Crotchy even takes a bazooka out of his back. So, you've got that. And Crotchy is probably one of my favorite Postal characters, other than the Postal dude and Champ. Running out of breath. So, back to Friday. We've got to pick up an alternator at a junkyard. You can do this the easy way or just do it the annoying way. The easy way, you pay the guy and he'll take you to an alternator. Or you can do it the hard way and just go find it yourself. Which, either way, you're going to get attacked by guard dogs, junkyard dogs. So, after that's all done, you've got the last task, go to Uncle Dave's birthday. So, you can do this again. Choice is yours. You can take care of the police, or you can just go past the police and go and do whatever. Give Uncle Dave his birthday present. Which again is a bad touch crotchy doll. But you don't see Dave open up the present. And after that's all done, you get a newspaper cutscene that says, dude says, I would normally think there would be a cutscene to explain a certain plot point. I like the font though. And the dude, I like him. I'd like to see him pop up in like other games too. Like somebody made a video of Postal dude playing Call of Duty Black Ops. Pretty much all it is a trolling video. Somebody leaves a message in the uploader's inbox saying, hey, get out of my way, you effing R-word. And I just think that's pretty funny. Not using the R-word though, but the fact that they use the Postal dude's voice for the play value of the Call of Duty Black Ops, even though I don't like Call of Duty. So anyways, I'd like to see Postal dude come into play with other games. Now to talk a little bit about A Week in Paradise. It's absolutely awesome. Even though the multiplayer doesn't come into play, that's not what I got into Postal for. It wasn't the multiplayer that interested me. It was the overall comedy aspect of it that intrigued me. So with A Week in Paradise, you get a shitload of weapons. Even though I never could find the battle axe, you get a shit ton of weapons. And you can choose to play the enhanced game at the start of the game. So that's cool. Usually you have to beat the game to play the enhanced game. And one thing about the enhanced game that I really, really liked, excuse me, you get to piss napalm. I absolutely loved doing that. You pretty much got a flamethrower in your pants. Yeah. So, yeah, Week in Paradise is tons of fun. Like, you can play 3 different versions of the game. You can play the weekend only. You can play the average 5 days. Or you can play the original Postal 2 5 days without all the fun weapons. And you can do the original Apocalypse Weekend without the fun weapons, which, that's no fun. So, anyways, what do I give Postal to? I give it a 9 out of 10. People are probably like, what the fuck? Yes, I give it a 9 out of 10. I praise this game. I kiss this game's ass right now. I love this game. 9 out of 10. Well worthy. If you want to know why I give it a 9 out of 10, I thought the game was fun. I thought the overall experience was a great experience. And I just have no problems with this game other than the loading times. So anyways, I'll do a review of Apocalypse Weekend at some point. So anyways, catch y'all later, and peace. Play Postal if you want a fun game to play. I'm out.